Due Dissidence says, seems like a good time to remind everyone that ICE is a creation of the post-9/11 paranoid hysteria that ushered in the modern incarnation of the surveillance state. Due Dissidence knows about this. Ironically, but not surprisingly, the very surveillance state that MAGA claims to oppose. ICE was invented after 9/11 because of our hysteria, and it's the very surveillance state that MAGA claims to oppose.
Well, the people in MAGA do oppose it.
They do oppose it. So very soon, ICE will know exactly where you are all the time. ICE is planning on buying a tool that will let it see hundreds of millions of phones locations data. That's, immigration. ICE will soon be tracking cell phone data. The Immigration Law Enforcement Agency has bought access to an all-in-one surveillance tool that gives it updated location data from hundreds of millions of phones, according to ICE documents obtained by 404 Media. ICE reportedly prefers the service because it also peels information from social media accounts. You didn't think this was going to end with the deportation of immigrants, right? They were just a prop in a grand scale, practical jokes being played on us. The second they're not needed anymore, they'll be disposed of. This was just so they can put in a system in place to monitor when humankind wakes up to their vampire pedo leadership. That's all this ever was, and everything else was just to make people welcome it. So you say, oh no, we're fighting criminal immigrants, criminal illegal immigrants. Of course, that's not who they're targeting. We see them going after food delivery guys. We see them going after children. We see them going after college students for writing an op-ed. And it's all to, again, the expansion of the surveillance state, which Donald Trump is welcoming. MAGA is supposed to be against that, but that's the perfect guy to have. Just like Barack Obama, when he didn't break up the banks and he gave the bankers their bonuses while he kicked people out of their houses, 5.1 million. He was the perfect guy to do that because the people who would usually stand up against that, which were Democrats, didn't, because Barack Obama was doing it. When Barack Obama gave a giveaway healthcare plan to big pharma and health insurance companies in Wall Street, the Democrats are supposed to rise up against that. They're the natural opposition to big pharma and but Barack Obama squelched those people. They don't want to go against their leader. And the same thing's happening with Donald Trump.
Perfect guy to put Al Qaeda in charge of Syria.
Perfect guy to put Al Qaeda in charge in Syria, Donald Trump.
And keep Guantanamo open.
But Guantanamo's still open.
But sits down with an ISIS.
That's right.
A guy in both groups.
Hang on. Redacted documents make reference to two products, both produced by the contractor Penlink. They are known as Tangles and Weblock. Both were created by an Israeli company. No shit.
So you know it's good.
You know it's good. They are called Cobwebs, which merged into Penlink in 2023. ICE has reportedly spent $5 million for access to the software, Forbes reported last month. Previous attempts to monitor consumers' location data for immigration enforcement was found to be illegal. A sweeping records request by the ACLU in 2022 found that the Department of Homeland Security had obtained more than 336,000 location data points across North America by scraping app user data on hundreds of millions of phones during Donald Trump's first term. Every American should be concerned that Trump's hand-picked security force is once again buying and using location data without a warrant, said Senator Ron Wyden. And by the way, if Trump handpicked them, you know, when he handpicks you, he grabs you by the pussy. Weblock monitors the trends of mobile devices that have location data activated and how often they have been to those locations, according to a government case study. Tangles creates a day-in-the-life profile of individuals based on mined social media data. This is here, folks. You're living in China. It's worse. It's like China in the future. Yeah. They're creating a day in the life of you. It combines posts, meaning social media posts, contacts, locations, and the events they attend, and combining it with any information leaked about them online. Forbes reported, as well as captured images of subjects' face that can be searched for in databases by using Tangle's AI-assisted tools.
You know, I'm very grateful for all the inaccurate information about me online right about now.
Yeah.
I don't have the right birthday up. My height is listed as 5'9" online. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
That's great. That's the saving grace of online, is that I think Tangle will have the wrong details.
Online, it says I'm worth $40 million.
Oh, I got that once too.
I was like, wow,
thank you.
really? You think I'd still be
you
working?
wasn't wasted your wealth, Jimmy.
You think I would be doing this if I had $40 million? I tell you what, I would not. I would open my own comedy. I would open my own comedy club and perform there whenever I felt like it, and enjoy my money. That's it.
I'd be doing gain of function research with my money.
I'd be doing
spend money to make money.
You got to do some. ICE has praised PenLink's products and internal documents, noting the tools forego issues they've had with previous services, which could require analysts to manually collect and correlate data from fragmented sources. Without an all-in-one tool that provides comprehensive web investigations capabilities and automated analysis of location-based data within specific geographic areas, intelligence teams face significant operational challenges. That's according to ICE documents.
How do we get this information to Israel faster? Was their problem?
ICE is reported, here's some Ben Crump. ICE is reportedly trying to buy powerful surveillance tools to track people through data from hundreds of millions of phones without warrants. This is a dangerous step towards mass surveillance.
Oh, shut up.
I think we already are mass surveilled. Why do we need step? It's a step.
You're the Patriot Act, you fucking jerk.
We already did the Patriot Act. They already have. Anyway, no agency should have unchecked power to spy on Americans. They
do.
But
you remember Snowden?
Kurt, but look how conscientious these ICE guys are. Do you see? Yeah. To make sure they don't give you, they're wearing the face masks to make sure they don't give you any germs when they give you a rifle butt to the skull. Isn't that nice?
Well, I appreciate that about them. That's cool.
That's
these
nice.
New hires with no experience that they've mass hired.
So mass deportations will rely on authoritarian. This is from a place called Pogo.
Well, soon to be gone off the internet, I'm imagining.
What happened to Togo's? Wasn't that a sandwich place? Whatever happened to them?
I don't remember that.
Mass deportations will rely on authoritarian surveillance because our specialty is creating a problem that we have to roll soldiers in to resolve.
Yeah, well, that's why China had a social credit system, because they didn't have enough cops for billions of people. So that's why they were early adopters of that. And by the way, a bunch of stuff that they busted people for, they should have in China. They just don't have they put so many illegals into America that they don't have a force to get them out. So they got to cut corners to try to make it happen, because since Trump's a lame duck. And so, of course, it's going to naturally go to surveillance.
In his first weeks in office, Trump issued several executive orders that intended to use federal law enforcement and military support to expand immigration enforcement operations within the U.S., raising concerns about compelled data sharing and dramatically accelerating the ongoing mass deportation campaign. In the months since, the administration has begun destroying guardrails within government that protect personal data, aggregating data to support this effort.
I had no idea there were any guardrails whatsoever.
I didn't know there are no guardrails.
Spying for years.
Yeah, there are no guardrails. That's the joke there. Those guardrails were gotten rid of by Bush, Cheney, and Barack Obama and Joe Biden.
What do you think of FISA courts for?
That's right. Given that the overwhelming, in order to be successful, this deportation campaign will need to identify, track, and arrest millions of people. Given that the overwhelming majority of immigrants come from Latin America, Asia, the Caribbean, or Africa, most of those targeted will be people of color. Okay.
As long as they get anti-Zionists out, that's all I care about.
Yeah, it will touch every corner of the country because immigrants are woven into our national fabric in every corner of the country, and it will require authoritarian tactics like an all-encompassing surveillance, which we're already under.
We've had for my entire adult life.
Believing the administration line that mass deportation will only target people suspected of serious crimes is pure delusion. We're already seeing that.
The Snowden thing, all these dumb Democrats are like, no, they're just going after terrorists.
Yeah.
Well, this happened already.
This has already happened. I know. The administration is already targeting undocumented immigrants without criminal records, lawful permanent residents exercising First Amendment rights, and individuals potentially deemed guilty by association. Well, we've seen that, and everybody from Joe Rogan to Theo Vaughn and Andrew Schultz are pushing back against this, including us at this show here.
Also, undocumented immigrants, the reason it's called illegal immigrants is because you came in illegally. Asylum seekers aren't illegal. They were allowed in. Illegal immigrants, though, the crime is that you're here illegal. Like that, this wormy shit they do with this, the reasonable stuff people need to hear, they're not going to hear it because this bullshit, like there's more than two gender bullshit. It's all part of the same crap, and it turns people off. And then they don't pay attention when they grab somebody for writing an op-ed and who's here legally. They don't pay attention because that wormy way they describe that.
So it is shown it's unconcerned with due process. You know who else was unconcerned with due process? Barack Obama, right, Chris?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I mean, I have a joke about it. Someone screamed at me at a comedy club. I was just pointing out that he deported 3 million people, twice as many as Donald Trump, most of which without due process.
Without due process.
And yeah, a lady started
So they're
screaming
acting
at me.
like this is new. So this
article
article
remembers anything.
So that we are learning the lessons in real time when we start removing limits. So we said this when Barack Obama was repealing habeas corpus. When he was,
no one is learning lessons. What are they talking about?
When he was repealing the Smith-Mundt Act, which allows the government and the CIA to now propagandize American people and infiltrate and everybody from unions to school boards and everything. We said this, that hey, it's not always going to be Barack Obama doing this. You're going to hand this off to maybe a president you don't like, and here we are. And they're pretending like it's just starting now with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is just building up what Barack Obama and Joe Biden did.
But Jimmy,
in real time,
Jimmy,
do they mean Bill Maher just figured it out?
Obama didn't act like a dictator.
Yeah,
so
that's what the person said.
Oh, well, acting is the most important job there is.
Right.
Yeah. So we are learning the lesson in real time. We should have learned that lesson 15 years ago.
30 years.
20 years ago when they passed the Patriot Act. That's when we should have. So we're just learning it now because you don't like Trump? Yes. When we start removing limits on what the government can do to anyone, we also remove limits on what the government can do to everyone, which is why they prosecuted Julian Assange for journalism. Edward Snowden has to live in Russia. They tortured Chelsea Manning. The Barack Obama prosecuted more journalists under the Espionage Act than all the presidents before him combined. Why are you acting?
Sure,
I hate that. This
up.
is the thing that drives me nuts, is when they act like this is just happening now.
In real time, I'm learning this, Jimmy. I didn't learn it in school. I just learned about the many splendored spectrum of gender. I didn't learn that we lost all our rights 30 years ago.
The Trump administration is seeking a staggering $175 billion more for immigration enforcement, with the Republican majority in Congress poised to approve of
to not even do as well as Obama at deporting people.
That's right.
That's what's so funny about it to me.
Well, it's more about setting up the surveillance state. That's what I think. And that's all about Palantir. And that's what this Golden Dome is about, the $200 billion for the Golden Dome. This is about setting up a spy satellite system. It's the spy on you in America.
That will be your prison. The beautiful, golden, terrific prison.
Yeah, the golden
big,
prison.
Beautiful bill.
The gargantuan influx of funding would supercharge the expansion of detention and surveillance, from the widespread use of artificial intelligence to the already widespread use of data brokers by ICE to exploit the data broker loophole, to the near automated data sharing between federal agencies and state and local law enforcement via CODIS and other vast systems that collect biometric information. Mass arrests cannot happen to scale without surveillance, including location tracking, racial profiling, and warrantless searches, electronic or otherwise. These surveillance tools were being assembled even before President Trump took off. Oh, no kidding. Now, finally, with the Biden administration establishing data broker contracts, developing e-carceration tools, and using artificial intelligence, even though this violated the administration's own federal policies on the responsible use of artificial intelligence. So finally, about 15 paragraphs in, they say, oh yeah, it turns out Trump is not the first one doing this. Isn't that nice? The tools are being expanded under the Trump administration, with recent reporting revealing ICE paying tens of millions of dollars to contracting giant Palantir to make modifications to a powerful ICE database and search tool to allow complete target analysis of known populations and to update the tool's targeting and enforcement priorities. So Follow the operative words there are target and population. They always have to warn you, even when they try to hide it. Data like this can be used to expose associations and the intimate details of one's life.
My smart washing machine does that.
Yes, I know. The government's collection of this information becomes even more concerning when we understand that agencies combine it with data they purchase. For example, one ICE contractor, Shadow Dragon. By the way, you know they're the good guys when they use words like shadow and dragon, because nothing wins goodwill of the people over like naming yourself after two things that humans fear on a primal level. So the Shadow Dragon scrapes data from more than 200 websites, including social media platforms, and provides it to the government. The impact of these policies is not limited to the border. As we witness the demolition of key guardrails and due process, a fundamental pillar of the rule of law, we must be reminded that surveillance, by its very nature, is overbroad. It is rarely confined to those it ostensibly targets. Simply put, mass deportation, as envisioned by this administration, cannot occur without mass surveillance or mass intimidation, mass arrests, mass detention, and mass... I don't think they're going to do mass deportations.
It's not going to be Obama level, so you're supposed to forget about the before times and act like everything's unprecedented when not a single thing is. Due
Dissidence says, seems like a good time to remind everyone that ICE is a creation of the post-9/11 paranoid hysteria that ushered in the modern incarnation of the surveillance state. Due Dissidence knows about this. Ironically, but not surprisingly, the very surveillance state that MAGA claims to oppose. ICE was invented after 9/11 because of our hysteria, and it's the very surveillance state that MAGA claims to oppose.
Well, the people in MAGA do oppose it.
They do oppose it.
The Zionist portion and your neocon scumbag fucking portion, they always it's McCain forever.
So very soon, here's the headline I just showed you. Very soon, ICE will know exactly where you are at all times. Trump is going to track Americans' every move, says Melanie D'Oregio. This is in addition to Palantir tracking us over our private financial, health, and travel data, social media, donations, and more. So now you live in China, just to let you know, without all the cool stuff that China has. We don't have flying cars or high-speed rail or nice train stations or beautiful city. We don't have any of it. Why aren't libertarians like Dissident Media, Real Angel MC, and Comic Dave Smith talking about how illegal immigration is being used as an excuse to usher in more surveillance state nonsense? Abolishing ICE should be a libertarian priority right now. Well, I don't know what Dave Smith's talking about. Maybe he is talking about it.
I'm sure Dave Smith has brought it up.
I'm sure he has.
Abolishing ICE, I don't know why we need to abolish it. I just want to know why there's people actively working against the laws that we have in place now. It just seems like a big pageant to me, the whole thing. Homeland Security, maybe abolish that. That's the big 9/11 one I recall.
So I fear they're going to deport me back to Chicago. October 19th will be in Irvine, California. We'll be in Australia. Then we'll be in Burbank, California the day after Thanksgiving. And then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.